That's so funny.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. I guess a mic and a hair check. Ashley, let's mic check you, my friend.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We could
Hello.
sing. We could.
Adele?
Yeah. Adele?
Yeah. No?
Hi.
No.
Well, yeah.
Not quite?
No. Get
I
up.
don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, I hit
don't
the
know what you
video
want me to
instead. I just made it weird. I made it okay. It's all right.
Is it
Ashley,
working?
yep. Is this thing on? Hello. Take it back. Take it back.
My biggest
Just
asset.
twerk your way in here. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of The Tiffany Show. Euphoria Wellness Spa, Canoe Cafe, downtown PTBO. If you do not subscribe to Kojiko, your TV, I highly recommend that you do. Let's hop to it. I have a pretty cool guest who is taking names. Come on in here. No further ado, Ashley Flynn.
Hi.
Welcome
Thank you for having me.
to the Cuddle Corner.
That's nice. I like cuddle.
The first time we met, it was like fire.
Because you're lovely.
So a little bit about you. You own Black Rock Developments.
I do.
You are a female business owner in a male-dominated landscape. Always been a firecracker.
Thanks. It's nice to be here.
Thank you.
Also, I like talking.
And you're a recipient of a Chamber of Commerce Business of Excellence Award.
Yes, the 4 under 40.
That's what it was last year, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations again. That
Thanks.
never wears off, that novelty.
And the under 40 part will never wear off
No, forever under 40.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. Once you get that trophy, we stay there. Tell us about yourself, my friend. Your likes, your dislikes, maybe a secret nobody knows about you.
I grew up on a horse farm outside of Stouffville.
Oh, cool.
Like super country. Like a kind of well-off family. So I went to like private school and they shipped me off to England for a couple years when I was a kid. Not because I was bad, but mostly because my mom didn't really like kids.
Oh,
So yeah. So I was supposed to be a lawyer or a doctor, but that was too much school for me. So I abandoned ship.
That's fair.
Yeah. Things I like, animals, all of them. Things I don't like, negativity.
Ooh, yeah.
Too much for me.
Well,
I
yeah.
moved to Peterborough 5 years ago.
That's it.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
I'm a real estate investor as well. I'm a avid outdoors person. So here is actually great for me for running and hiking, and I don't like fishing. I don't know. I almost said that. I like eating fish.
Me too. Yeah. I don't like the worms. I have a hard time murdering them.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I can use a lure.
Me too.
But then if I accidentally hook the fish in the eye and it has to die, I'm like,
know.
no, I can't.
I'm gutted
Yeah,
because
right.
That's a soul, right? Like even the little spiders have souls, it's hard.
I have a less time.
Me too, and I will moosh them, but
Yeah,
they
me
still
too.
have souls. So there's still a little part of me that's like, oh, I'm sorry.
always like, what did I do? It's gonna rain now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let you mind your business, but if you're in my space, game over. We don't like negativity.
No, that's right.
Well, I think it's really interesting. Did you and your husband?
He's tall,
Can I ask?
and I'm not.
He is tall.
Yeah, he's tall, and we're like polar opposites in every regard. Actually, he's the ground for me because he's calm and collected, and anybody that knows me will say the complete opposite. My energy levels are a lot, but he's a good guy.
They can go put sunglasses on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we've been together almost 8 years, and we've had 7 homes.
I love him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So
He let me fly.
yeah.
He did.
Like I say that with the love for Gideon, like, cause it's when you speak about him, I just get such Gideon vibes, right? Like calm, cool, collected, the opposite, the support, the
And yet
steady.
your silent biggest cheerleader.
Yes, yeah. Where like some people are like, oh, Gideon doesn't come out to. I'm like, Gideon doesn't need to come out to everything. Gideon's life is the Tiffany Show. Like, give him, give him a break.
No. Poor Gideon. Josh gets Gideon, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right.
This is my second husband. So I got married the first time when I was 21.
Okay.
Like an idiot. Don't get married at 21. It was a mistake. Yeah, so yeah, this is my second husband. So he came with me here. We lived together in Whitby, and then we moved out here.
Okay, I was going to ask if he was kind of from the area too.
He grew up in Orno, and if he watches this, he's going to say, I do grow up in the area, but Orno's not Peterborough, so I don't know what he's talking about.
It doesn't count.
No. I don't know. He just thinks they're like interconnected somehow, but they're like half an hour away. So
when it comes to life, you've obviously taken some risks. Look, the real estate investment, moving this way from Stouffville, being out in England all
27 times.
27 times?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The fact that I'm still in the same house for 3 years is amazing.
Wow. Did you build your house?
No. But the next one I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Once I find $2.9 million. If anyone has that, that's what I need.
You can e-transfer me next week.
Or at least that's what my husband says I need for my taste.
Oh, are you an interior designer as well?
Yes.
What
have I not
Give us
done?
a career snapshot.
Well, I ran away from home when I was 17 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't want to be a doctor and a lawyer.
That's fair.
And I went to film school. So I went to school for film and television and radio production. I was a child actor and singer.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to be away from the camera and behind it. So I went to school in Toronto, and like my parents went away for a weekend, and I found this little tiny apartment for $500 a month at Jane in St. Clair. I didn't know that wasn't a good place to live. And so I started my career there. And I also went and got a master's in English, which was silly because I can't teach. I'm a terrible teacher. But I worked for the Ottawa Senators for a while. And I used to work for 102.1 The Edge.
Oh, yeah.
And then I met my first husband when I was 20. And then my careers went right out the window. He was a carpenter, and he wanted to open his own company. And we moved to Wasaga Beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I kind of had no choice. He was a very abusive man. So I went with him.
Yeah.
And then that's how I got into construction, actually, because he was running his business while doing the work. And I learned how to run the office. And then I got involved in project management. And then I really fell in love with the design aspect of it. So when him and I split up, I actually moved back to Toronto, and I went back to school, just doing like online courses and that sort of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I did that for a long time. And then I also went back into radio for a while when I first moved to Peterborough.
I was going to say, when I first met you, we connected via radio. You were at My Broadcasting, right?
Yeah. I worked for Oldies.
Jeff Dewitt.
That's right. Jeff with one F.
Jeff with one F. And no, he is with a J. I almost said a J.
No, that would be weird.
Back that up. I was thinking about Graham Elliott, though.
Oh,
Joffrey Dewitt. Sorry. Okay, we'll stop, Jeff. We'll stop.
Yeah.
Such an interesting journey to get you kind of down to this point, this area in life. And now you have BlackRock Developments, which is a construction company.
Yeah, I build houses myself.
I also know that BlackRock may have been featured on HGTV.
We did. I didn't make it on the camera, which was a little bit unfortunate.
Why is that, Ashley?
Because they found prettier people, I guess. No. We did work with Renovation Resort the first season.
That's cool.
It was Brian Baumler and Scott McGilvery. They were building cottages in Campbellford. And it was a team show, but it was during COVID. Wow. So they had to have a backup team. So I didn't make the cut to be a contestant on the show, but I had to do all the things the contestants did. You just didn't see me.
Really?
And Brian Baumler and Scott McGilvery had their own cabin.
Right.
And that was the one that, oh my God, I hit my mic, I'm sorry. That was the one that I got to do. So I designed it. And that was fun, and I still made all the money that the rest of them did. Just didn't get my face on TV.
Oh, still cool. Yeah, I like to have
fun.
that experience, right?
The producers talk to me still all the time, and I'm constantly trying for my own show, but they said that I swear a lot. So this is my practice run.
Beep it out. Come on. Yeah,
they
right?
said the whole show would just be beep.
It wouldn't.
It would be like ER when someone flatlined.
Yeah, it's actually what our show is like with the camera off as well.
That's funny.
Ashley, what have been some of these, you mentioned kind of some of these challenges or these big things that you've gone through, especially like, that journey, right? And kind of breaking away from negativity, toxicity, and carving your own path, your own way. So what would you say are some of the most significant challenges that you've faced? And more importantly, How have they shaped the way you move in the world?
I'd say there's two. The less frightening one, I suppose, is that I was always sort of a chubbier kid. And when I turned 30, I was like having a lot of health problems and everything else. So, and I had a lot of other issues, social anxieties. I was not comfortable in my own skin. So I ended up losing 130 pounds. And I've managed to keep the weight off for 8 years. So now you all know how old I am. Yeah.
We're the exact same age.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and I also lost just shy.
I know.
That's
You killed it.
wild.
I know. So that was a really hard one.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just about physical appearance at
No.
all. It was about feeling better about myself.
Yes.
Because every day I'd go to sleep and I would just be miserable.
I feel that. Or scared. I was always scared of diabetes,
100%.
right?
Or like my back was hurting, my knees were like hurting, things just weren't, it wasn't right. And what I was doing at the time, because I also used to run fine dining restaurants. So I used to be general manager of that. My husband says I should write a book. My career.
I also feel like you need. The other week I interviewed an author. We should connect you two, and you should write a. Yes, write that story.
But it was hard for me to keep up with the staff, just like physically,
right?
And being out of breath, and I had a really young daughter as a single mom, so I made the decision to do that, and it totally changed my look. And then it made me confident. It wasn't about what other people thought about me. It was how I thought about myself.
Oh, Ashley, I deeply appreciate you sharing that, because that is such a narrative, right? Like a lot of people will lose weight because
the social like status,
right?
Not about that.
No, it is about the way it's about the way I feel and speak to myself in my own body.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, you know what, you might lose a few lbs, but the biggest change is like the narrative and how we talk to ourselves.
100%.
And that isn't talked about enough.
No, God, no. People are always so ashamed of it. I've been a pretty big advocate for letting people know.
I love that.
People wouldn't know. If you've I moved here and nobody would have any idea that I literally lost me and then some, but I feel so much better. So it's good. And when I look in the mirror, I think everybody always sort of struggles with that.
There's the challenges. Yeah.
But it's a better mental space to be in, for sure.
It's a different conversation, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And in life, obviously, the ups, the downs, like you said, you went through a really abusive relationship. You've changed kind of the trajectory of your own life in a few different avenues. Are there any tools that have helped you along the way, or things that you lean into that really kind of support you in those uncomfortable moments?
How long have I been separated from my first husband? Since I was 23. So, like almost 15 years ago, I left him. My daughter and I fled. It was very bad.
Wow.
And I came home to live with my parents for 9 months is all they gave me. And they said, that's it. You got to go.
Yeah.
And my brother sat me down and said, you're too nice of a person. You need to toughen up. And he said a word that I'm not going to repeat on here, but I need to be a little bit more of a B word.
Yep.
And stand up for myself. And I did. I actually changed my entire personality, which is the reason why I'm kind of so fierce, I guess, and strong and a bit pushy. But I feel like I need to stand up for myself constantly.
You needed that.
I need that little voice inside my head to say, like, you can do this. You are strong enough. And you are better enough. So, like, as ridiculous as this sounds, I tell myself that all the time. And it was my brother that literally said, you need to toughen up. And I did. I mean, there's a balance, clearly.
Yeah, but we go a little far and then we rein it in.
But
right?
it's that tool of constantly telling myself, like, you are absolutely capable and you are 100% strong enough.
Wow. The things that we tell ourselves, right? How we fuel ourselves. Even
sometimes my brother says I went too far the other way, but that's okay.
You know what? Yeah, and we need boldness. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we can be sucked into an entire lifetime of people pleasing.
100%.
I'm definitely guilty of it. It's definitely been something I've been working away from, and like putting boundaries up and actually speaking my own voice. And it's a big driver for the show, right? Is like you're
important, right? Your views, they matter.
They matter.
How you feel, they matter.
Yes, and your voice matters at any table that you're sitting at. And if your voice doesn't matter at that table, you got to leave that table.
That table's not for you.
Get out.
Absolutely.
In times of doubt or adversity, or when you're really down and doubting yourself, what has kept you pushing forward?
I took up distance running. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I run about 80 kilometers a week.
Holy Hannah!
Which my chiropractor, acupuncturist, physiotherapist, massage therapist, and osteopath say is bad. But I
But you
do
love
it because I'm able to obtain mental clarity. So I don't listen to music. I take my dog and I run in the woods, completely detached from everything. In order,
Oh, wow.
it's my form of meditation.
Yeah.
But it is what focuses me and what drives me and grounds me. Also, I'm like obsessed with nature. So to be out there in the woods, even though my husband says I should travel with bear mace, it's literally what keeps my head focused and keeps me on the right path, and inspires me with new ideas.
I could see how that your connection with knowing your work at BlackRock Developments, I can see that connection and respect for nature in the
Try to
builds
honor
that
it.
you create. Yeah. How neat. So it's like a revelation to like get to know somebody on a different level and then piece it back to their work and kind of and see how their own personal values bleed into what they do.
That's a big deal.
So you said you have a daughter.
I do.
Is she a teenager now?
She's 15.
She's 15. Oh, okay. All right. A little bit like you.
Not like me at all.
No?
She's actually basically the polar opposite. Although she is developing my sense of humor and sarcasm, which is like fun for me.
Yeah.
No, she says that I'm really talkative and very outgoing. She's a lot more reserved.
Yeah.
She said that I've always just done the talking for her whole life, so she's never really had to. She's brilliant. She's such a smart girl. So well, like we hear horror stories all the time about teenage girls, and like my daughter doesn't seem to have that. She's just so grounded and very. One thing she does have, she knows who she is.
Oh.
So there's no pushing her around.
Amazing.
She stands up for herself, but in like respectable and polite ways.
Yeah. I do have to say, I'm going to be transparent. I feel kind of for teenagers because they get a lot of flack right now.
God.
But honestly, in my circle and any teenager that I know, they're a wonderful being and they're on their ways to having a beautiful adult life.
They're figuring out who they are.
Give
which is
them
kind of
some
cool.
slack, like, and we, and it seems like they've got different tools than we had, which is fantastic, but they also have their own slew of challenges that we didn't have.
Way more than we did.
Right? We just gotta take care of them. They're gonna be the future. Speaking of growing up, if little Ashley was sitting here with us today, what would you tell that little girl?
People will love you. That sounds awful, but as a kid, and I had a pretty rough childhood, I was always wondering if anyone was ever gonna love me or like me.
Unconditionally.
Yeah. And they will. Absolutely.
They will. They totally will.
Yeah. And you'll learn to love yourself, I think, was like the big one, because I hated myself.
Yeah. It's tough, eh?
Yeah.
And were you similar to me where it's like we didn't really start experiencing the self-love until adulthood?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I struggled with it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at one point it was like my mental health and I'm kind of like cluing into how dark a space that was. And it's like, how am I going to get out of this?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not laughing at that.
No,
It is so incredible.
yeah, exactly. No, I feel that. And like so many of us just go through that journey, like questioning so many things, thinking that we're alone and then not realizing or piecing together that it's like, we're not.
No, not even a little bit.
All the journeys that we go through are parallel. And yeah, we might have different steps or different things that we actually experience, but a lot of the pain is the same.
Oh, yes.
A lot of the celebrations are the same. And yeah, it's important to have those conversations. And thank you for sharing with all of us, because it's not easy for everybody to share and, to put that out in the universe. And, we all share things, and then you go home at night and you're like, oh, should I have said
those things?
Did I say that?
Oh, I do that
way?
like 50 times a day.
Right? I guess you would still every once in a while that people pleaser creeps, right?
Yeah, it's hard. I think for me now, it's not so much about the people in my circle.
Yeah.
They respect that I have very specific and hard boundaries.
Oh, I respect that.
But for my clients,
yeah,
it's or strangers, I don't know. I have this big thing about I'll do anything for clients or strangers, which is kind of weird. So or animals.
I feel
right. Like a puppy comes up, I'm giving him all my money.
Oh yeah, and it's hard. It's been hard to learn to say no.
Oh yeah, but now I got good at it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Saying no is good.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good. A lot of us feel like maybe, when we hold back or we don't speak, we're not entitled to that, to
Yes.
say no.
Yep.
Right. And like if you weren't permitted to have feelings growing up or have that voice, then yeah, I mean, boundaries as an adult are incredibly hard. And I actually found a lot of mine bled into my workplace.
Oh, really?
Where a lot of my personal value came from how hard I would work, how much work I could get done in a work week.
Yep.
Like, please love me, please see me. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's just, it's interesting that all of these, like we say, all of these things happen to all of us, right? And but nobody talks about it.
No,
we all just silently suffer, thinking it's just us, and it's not just us.
No, it's not.
Life is tough, man. But we got to keep going.
Okay, we can do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, on the good side, the positivity side, the kindness side, can you talk about maybe a specific situation where an act of kindness affected your life, impacted you moving forward?
Yeah, my stepmom actually. When I was 23, I left my husband and came home with an infant daughter. And I spent like 3 days crying in my old bedroom from as a kid, thinking like, well, my whole life at that time had completely ended.
Right.
And she came in my room one day as I was still crying, and I didn't know bodies could have that much water. But
how am I not a raisin?
I know.
I've totally been there.
She sat me down. My daughter was in a crib right next to my bed. And sat me up actually and said, look at that kid. That kid needs her mom. And you don't need to cry anymore. Things are bad, but they can only go up from here. There is no further place to go but up. And now you get to do all the things you wanted to do. So go do them. And at first I was mad because I thought, I just want to wallow.
Yeah.
But she was right. And actually the next day she made me go out and start looking for jobs and said, you're going to start again. Go. And it was tough love, but it was the things that I needed to hear. And then looking at this little adorable face through jail crib bars, I thought she's right, you know? Like, that's the thing that I have to get up and go for again. She can't, I don't want her to see this and think that's my mom. That's what I have to aspire to be, or that's good. It's not good.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and sometimes those pushes of love, right? Where, it's tough in the moment to hear, but really the best thing that we can do. She ever did for me. Yeah. Because, we have a few days, we got to feel it, but at some point we need to move through it, right?
Yes.
Like, I always say, I can't live here.
No.
Like, after my dad's death and last year, and I was so sad, and all these other things had happened, and it was like, I kept telling myself, like, I just can't live here.
No.
Like, feel it, get it out, and then like, find something to look forward to. Grow
from it.
Yes.
Use that as an experience, as a catalyst to get out there and make something different, or do something different.
Yes,
feel
shake it
something
up.
different.
And in those moments in those moments of pain and darkness, when we give ourselves the moment to like feel it, be in it, stretch into it, and then move on from it, the next time we experience the harder thing, it's like, oh, well, compared to that, I was able to like get over that.
I've literally giving yourself resource tools.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's like really, and then people talk about capacity, but it's legit. Mm-hmm. That's how we build our capacity, is by getting back up and keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
Ashley Flynn, what is the best thing about life?
Laughter and puppies and kitties. Yeah.
How many animals do you have?
I only have 3, but I want all of them. And if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd buy a huge farm, build all sorts of barns, and take in all the animals that don't have houses, have vets, and I picture my Sound of Music, like rolling back hills, and me just rolling through the wildflowers with puppies.
Oh my God.
And horses and donkeys and pigs, like everything.
And we'll set up the Tiffany show, and then we can have them, and then we'll do interviews, and the animals will be there, and it'll help them get adopted. Yes. Right? If we win the lottery,
that's what we're going to do.
There will be signs.
Yeah. Huge ones.
Huge animal print signs.
Peterborough County will be bought out.
Exactly. The Humane Society, empty.
Right?
Except I'll keep paying them because I want all those. I love all the staff over there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like the staff at the Humane Society.
They're the best.
My heart, honestly. And the way they show up for those animals in this community, oh man. So I got a soft spot for them.
No, I do. I totally get it.
Oh, pets are the best. So you have 2 cats and a dog?
Yeah, 2 cats and a dog.
I also have 2 cats and a dog.
That's why we're friends.
Right in there for you.
Well, I'm sure Cashy takes up a large majority of it.
She is like a 30-pound cat. I'm not even kidding.
He's not fat. He's just fluffy.
He isn't. He really is fluffy. He has fur and hair.
Yeah.
Ashley Flynn, you are a firecracker. You are spicy. You can boundary check. You're direct. You're bold. You are such beautiful things, and you make life better, and you make this community better. If you have a message for anybody watching today, what is that message?
You can do anything you want to do, and don't listen to any of the negativity. If there's something you want to do, no matter what the stigmas are attached to it, do it. And at the end of the day, you have to make yourself happy, because nobody else is going to be happy unless you're happy first.
What's the end game? Like, what's the end game with BlackRock? What's your next big?
Well, my big thing is that I want to just do only custom homes, but I put developments in the last name because I wanted to be a developer,
Right.
like, Davenport or Dietrich, but I want none of my homes to be cookie cutter. I want every single one to be completely different and tailored to the buyers.
I love that. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be judgy, but sometimes you drive through those neighborhoods and they all look the same. It's
I don't like that.
OMG.
No, it's not. There's no personality.
I question the quality when I see that, if I'm being honest. It scares me.
Well,
it scares me when they're all the
It
same.
should. I shouldn't
Mine
say
is a
those out
little
loud.
wartime house.
Yeah, that's the best. They were built so
Right?
well.
So strong.
You try getting that lath and plaster down.
Right?
Tell me how
That's
that works
right.
out.
That's
Yeah.
right. And Gideon, like, he did the roof, he did the stairs.
All by himself?
Oh, yeah. Gideon
Wow.
is a handyman. Like, that man can take apart my Dyson vacuum and put it back together.
I have a Dyson that's broken. I'm bringing it over.
Yeah, you should, honestly. I think because he was like an only child. So one of the ways that he entertained himself was building things.
That's
And then his
amazing.
mom would just like get him tools and give him these books. And like, yeah, and he's very, very, I was actually surprised that he wasn't an electrician or a carpenter
Yeah.
and he ended up in audio visual.
Yeah.
But honestly, his heart is like home theaters.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and he can really. We in our basement, he built a projector system where the screen drops out of the
Ceiling?
roof. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
just press a button and it comes down. And
That's what
Yeah.
I did for HGTV.
oh my god,
I know.
see,
He could have worked. I told you. I'll get a client that wants a big theater in
Yeah.
their basement, and then Gideon's going to do
and
that.
then he's gonna and then we'll have two entrepreneurs under our household. It'll be
Here we go.
risky, but we'll figure it out. Ashley Flynn, honestly, really and truly,
Thank you.
God, you're so freaking beautiful.
So are you.
What a story.
Oh, yeah.
You have a lot of layers,
Like an onion.
like an onion,
Right? Like-
yes,
Like Donkey said from Shrek.
and I love how transparent you are about it, because a lot of people do keep things just so
That's
close
a
and tight
newer
and quiet.
development.
Is it?
I don't like the sob stories.
Yeah.
I'm like a very firm believer of not telling people all the bad stuff that happened to me so they feel bad for me to give me what I want.
Interesting.
I'd rather show them that I'm capable of doing those things on my own, and then afterwards they can find out the sob stories.
and find out the resilience that you
Yeah.
built from that journey. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Deep, deep respect for you. BlackRock
Thank you.
Developments. Ashley, thank you for your
Thanks.
beautiful heart. Thank you for
you.
all you do for me, for community. And watch, BlackRock Developments has sponsored International Women's Day.
Yay.
So Ashley Flynn is in this year. This has been another episode of The Tiffany Show. Be kind, take care of each other, keep going, and all that good stuff.
You're looking to sell your home or cottage? You want to work with someone who knows the market inside and out. Hi, I'm Sarah Evans, born and raised in Peterborough, Ontario. I'm very proud to call this great community home. Contact me today and I promise to exceed your expectations. 705-768-6278 or visit sarahevans.ca.
Not intended to solicit those currently under contract.